Free for All Sports. I'm Adrian, aka Temp.
I'm Ray, a.k.a. Coach Ray. Glad to be back. We're going to jump right into it with our quick hits. MLB World Series. The Boston Red Sox have tied up the series. What do you think about that, man?
I think Boston's up one game right now.
They are?
I didn't. Boston's up one game right now.
It was tied. I thought it was tied. I didn't know.
John Lester, he pitched 7.2 innings, and he only gave up 1 run.
That's flipping awesome. And I've been noticing that David Ortiz, I'm not going to call him Big Papi. I can't do it. Yeah. David Ortiz just been balling.
He has.
He's been balling out of control. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals. I mean,
for real, you don't even really have to watch the games because I was looking at some facts. Everything exciting that's happened in the World Series so far has happened in the 7th inning. So all you got to do is wait till the 7th inning and then you're good.
I feel you.
Good going to happen.
Yeah, and then they advertised it yesterday during the Rams game. So everything that was going on in the World Series kind of popped up during the Rams game. So it didn't matter what channel you were on. You still found out something about the World Series.
Yeah, because the game was pretty boring anyway.
It pretty much was.
Well, we're going to roll into our next quick hit. Talking about NFL injuries. Man, they walk on the field and get hurt.
It's ridiculous, man.
The most recent injury is Sidney Rice. He tore his ACL. I'm like, man, these receivers are just dropping like flies, man. I don't know if they haven't been taking their vitamins or something.
They ain't drinking no milk.
Yeah,
even back in the day, the milk commercial made you think your bones would be strong. They ain't drinking it no more.
Yeah, ACL ain't a bone, is it though?
It's a muscle, but milk.
Well,
milk does everybody good back when I was growing up. I don't know what's going on now.
Patriots right tackle, he broke his leg, so he's out for the rest of the year.
RG3 was knocked out.
Yeah.
Again.
Kirk Cousins came in and threw some interceptions.
Yeah.
But then you got Cowboys. They just lost Brian Waters towards tricep. He owed his dirt anyway, so
yeah,
he might just need to stay at home.
So that's another guy down in Dallas, and then you got
Michael Vick.
Down again. They were lighting him up though. I'm saying like he had no choice but to be hurt.
Michael Vick, he's done. We're looking to get a Mariota or something like that.
Yeah, it's time to go ahead and trade him for draft picks. Yeah. Get him out of there. Put him out of his misery. Pay him his little bit of money. Send him home.
But basically, this is the worst time to play in the NFL right now. I'd be scared to get injured too, but if you got a guaranteed contract getting money, then you're good.
Yeah, if you ain't got guaranteed money, then you might want to like just ask coach to stay on the sideline this Sunday because they hitting, people getting knocked out, injuries happening. Some of the injuries are happening without even like any effort. People just running fast, and all of a sudden they got a torn ACL.
Yeah, you need to fix that field.
Yeah. All right, and moving on, we got this Saturday, the battle, Florida State against Miami. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I'm calling the upset.
It's not going to be a battle.
I'm calling the upset.
It's going to be a blowout.
It's going to be a blowout. Whatever, man.
They're going to make them look like a high school team.
And you know what? Well, I'm going to make you eat those words coming this weekend. After the game's over, I'm personally going to call you and let you know that I'm not biased, but we taking this upset.
Yeah, taking that upset, man.
Florida State's going down. That's why they call us NFL University.
Miami ain't won nothing. Miami ain't played a real team this year. Man.
Yeah, you're right. We just knocked off Florida.
Florida's not. Is Florida?
They were ranked.
They're not even in the top 25 now.
They're not now, but they were ranked. They were preseason AP poll. We were at the bottom of the AP poll.
Okay, exactly. What is preseason? Before they even play a game.
That wasn't our first game, though.
But they're trash.
First of all, you're a Penn State fan anyway.
We beat Michigan.
Y'all beat Michigan. And then what?
We got smashed by Ohio State.
Okay, y'all got smashed by Ohio State, which always happens anyway.
Ohio State's won that. No, we beat them last year. Get it right.
No, Ohio State was undefeated last year. Ohio State was undefeated last year. Get your stats right.
We beat them maybe 2 years.
Y'all might have beat Penn.
I don't know.
Y'all might have beat Penn or Ohio. Y'all might have been Ohio, University of Ohio, not Ohio State.
What does it matter? Y'all cheating anyway. Man.
How are we cheating?
People getting paid and stuff like that. Whatever, I don't want to talk about this no more.
Yeah, of course you don't want to talk about it because Miami's going to win the game on Saturday. Okay. You're going to be watching Penn State do whatever they do. I mean, at least they got...
I don't watch them. There's no reason to watch them if they're not going to a bowl game.
Well, they wouldn't make it to a bowl game if they weren't unsanctioned. I mean, they weren't sanctioned, so what difference does it make?
Whatever. We got a good coach. We beat Miami.
Okay.
But that's going to end our segment on Quick Hits. And our next upcoming main topics, we're going to talk about Jerry Jones and Megatron. We're gonna talk about the NBA season coming up.
And Kansas City still holding it down undefeated in the NFL.
F. Andy Reid.
when we come back.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Right now, we're going to talk about.
We'll talk about the mess Jerry Jones said today, which I think he made a good point when he said that primetime Deion Sanders could shut down Megatron.
Yeah, I paused right there because I couldn't believe that buffoonery that came out of his mouth.
How do you figure it's buffoonery?
Calvin Johnson is a freaking nature receiver.
And Deion Sanders was a freaking nature defensive back.
I was watching NFL Network. They said Chris Carter said Calvin Johnson is a generational player. Only one person comes out of a generation.
Same thing they said about Deion Sanders when he came out of Florida State.
Man, Calvin Johnson would. I think he could take Deion Sanders personally.
Because he's bigger than him. That's your only argument. He's 6'4".
What does Deion have on Calvin Johnson?
3 Super Bowl rings.
No. We're not talking about
4.18 speed.
4.18. He runs a 4.2. Calvin Johnson runs a 4.2.
Let's do 4.18. Last time I checked, 4.18 was better than 4.2.
Okay.
Last time
if he throws the ball up high, who's gonna get it?
Probably Deion. Because you know what's gonna happen? Deion's gonna play off him and make the quarterback make Matt Stafford think that Megatron's open.
First of all, let's not even put Matt Stafford in the conversation. Let's put a good quarterback.
Apparently, he's good. The man had 300-something yards receiving from that quarterback. You're saying is not good.
That threw 2 interceptions.
Okay, 2 interceptions. The dude is average since he's been in the league over 4,000 yards passing when he's healthy.
Because he has Calvin Johnson.
Your argument's collapsing on the stuff as you're talking.
All he does is throw the ball up. He's like Eli Manning. Eli Manning's not good.
No, he's not like Eli Manning. You know why? Because he actually has over 4,000 yards. Eli Manning, I don't even know what he has.
He had
right
over 4,000 yards last season.
Okay, that's the last season. We're talking about this season.
Well, Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he does have 2 Super Bowl rings. And I said this in the first thing, if I had the front 7 he had, I would have 2 Super Bowl rings too on defense. That defense, I would have 2 Super Bowl rings. But again, the argument is that you think that Primetime can't shut down Megatron. I completely disagree. I think Primetime will lock Megatron down. He was a pure shutdown corner.
He would have to play off the ball because he's not going to beat him physically.
Okay, I know, but he was smart enough to know that. And then think about it. Megatron's he's a freak of nature. Let's give him that. But listen to the caliber of receivers that Deion Sanders checked. Chris Carter, Jerry Rice, Alvin Harper, Michael Irvin, and who else was another good receiver? Tim Brown. These are all Hall of Fame receivers.
And if you factor in the rules that they have nowadays with Deion Sanders playing against Calvin Johnson now, I don't think Deion Sanders will be that effective.
First of all, Deion Sanders wasn't big of a hitter, so those rules wouldn't even really affect him. He was a cover corner. He was a shutdown corner. Shut down. I'm not sitting here saying Megatron won't get a touchdown, but he's not gonna get 100 yards receiving against Deion Sanders.
I think he would.
He's not. I seriously doubt.
So are you saying in Deion Sanders' whole career he never gave up 100 yards receiving?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he wouldn't give it up against Calvin Johnson.
And he's probably only going to see Calvin Johnson once a year if they're not playing in the same division.
Possibly once a year.
So I think in that once a year matchup,
Calvin he would Johnson take that game that serious to make sure he locked him down.
And he'd probably say something ignorant about Calvin Johnson, and Calvin Johnson would take it personal. You know, Calvin Johnson, he's an upstanding citizen. You know, he doesn't say reckless stuff out of his mouth. So he would just go out there and do work.
Man, there's really nothing else he could say. He plays for Detroit. They're pretty much bankrupt. He just needs to keep his mouth shut. Okay, that's all they got left is the Lions.
Whatever.
All right.
They got Big Sean.
So moving on, we're gonna talk about the Kansas City Chiefs still undefeated. The Red Walrus that your Eagles let go seems to still have a good coaching gene.
Man, Andy Reid ain't got nothing to do with that. That's their defense.
Yeah,
their defense is balling out. Andy Reid, all he does is try to use Jamal Charles like he used Westbrook. Eventually, Jamal Charles gonna get injured because he's touching the ball too much. I hope he don't get injured too soon because he's on my fantasy team. But I just lost last week too, so it don't. Really
you pretty much gave a copy and paste version of y'all in Kansas City. He had a really stout defense and he had a good running back in Westbrook. It worked for y'all. Only difference is y'all couldn't get the job done in the Super Bowl. Just saying.
Kansas City won't even make it to the Super Bowl.
Probably not, but I mean he ain't been undefeated this long with y'all when he was there.
It don't matter. New England went undefeated until they got to the Super Bowl and lost.
Well, we're talking about Kansas City, and then you're comparing them to the trash that was once the Philadelphia Eagles.
Kansas City ain't played nobody. Who has Kansas City played?
I'm not denying that they haven't really played any tough competition. I'm not denying that. And the one thing I say is and this is my reason for saying they won't stay undefeated for long because one, people are all on, y'all shouldn't have let go of Alex Smith in San Francisco. He hasn't thrown but like maybe 3 or 4 touchdown passes all season.
Why you always got to come out of San Francisco?
Because that's what people always take it.
Nobody care about San Francisco.
Nobody cares about y'all.
Why? Who brought up us?
We're more relevant than y'all.
You're talking about us because he used to be our coach.
Right, but I'm proving a point. I'm saying that they're like people looking at, Alex Smith is the reason why. No, they're not. They got a stout defense.
I've never heard anybody say Alex Smith is the reason.
I have heard. We're not around each other 24/7, so I've heard other people talk.
That's from other 49 fans trying to get in his head.
No, that's from people outside looking in who hate on the 49ers and say, y'all shouldn't let Alex Smith go. He's thrown maximum in the last few games. He's thrown maybe 4 touchdowns.
I'll say one thing. Kansas City has basically the same team they had last year.
They just didn't have a good coach.
Main difference is Alex Smith.
Okay.
He's a game manager. He manages the game.
Right.
He managed the game better than Matt Castle did. He managed the game better than...
First of all, Matt Castle should have never been dubbed a starter in the first place. He had Randy Moss when he was in New England.
Started for New England. Didn't they get to the playoffs?
No, they didn't. They went 11-5 and didn't make the playoffs.
11-5
and did not make the playoffs that year.
Well, they went 11-5. That's still pretty good.
Anybody can go 11-5 when Randy Moss is one of your receivers.
What was y'all reckon when y'all had him?
We were 14-2.
Exactly. Y'all ain't go 11-5 though.
But we made that. Where's your? Please kill yourself. All right.
Next time we're gonna talk about the NBA season. It is back. LeBron James and the Miami Heat are going for their 3rd consecutive championship. Who's gonna stop them? I really don't see.
I'm holding it up right now.
Holding up what?
This is who's gonna stop them.
Lakers not gonna make the playoffs this year.
See, I leave it to a Sixer fan to hate.
Well, I'm just saying.
When's the last time y'all made the playoffs?
We're going to talk about teams that are actually going to do good this year.
And we definitely don't need to talk about y'all.
Lakers ain't going to do good. Sixers ain't going to do good. Let's just
I guarantee the Lakers do better than the Sixers.
They got Kobe Bryant. Who do we have? A whole bunch of rookies. And there was a comment that came out that said a GM said one of the teams in the NBA are going to be tanking this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
I heard that comment.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the Sixers.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That's
we're going to talk about the good teams in the NBA.
Okay.
I'm saying, of course, the Miami Heat. You agree?
I feel like I have no choice but to agree in this matter.
Okay, I don't know what took you so long to answer.
I had to think about it. I was like, well.
Also in the East, another good team.
Indiana Pacers.
Roy Hibbert, I guess he's going to play good this year. I really don't like him. I think he's soft, personally. I don't like Roy Hibbert.
You got a lot of hate coming out on that moment.
Whatever. I don't like him.
Okay.
If he plays against a legitimate center like Dwight Howard, or I think even Andre Drummond's going to push him around this year.
Whoa. All right, my sleeper team in the East, Brooklyn Nets. That's my sleeper team in the East.
Yeah, they sleeping because they old.
Think about it like this: you got KG, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry, who all 3 of them have a championship.
Yep.
Their job is really not to be the primary people on the team. Their job is to help and motivate and direct the younger guys on the team. They have a legit center in Brook Lopez when he's healthy. When he's healthy, Miami does not have a legit center.
So, okay. I got 2 things to say. I think Brooklyn will be the toughest test for Miami just because they're going to play them tough.
Okay.
And, they're going to play that smash mouth. They're going to play smash mouth basketball if there is.
Inside out basketball.
KG don't play that. He ain't not going to let LeBron just come in the paint. And Paul Pierce is not going to play that. He going to foul him, hack him up.
KG going to say something ignorant to LeBron.
But then,
like somebody's wife tasting like Apple Jacks or something like that.
But then again, I don't know how they're going to do with Jason Kidd being their head coach. There's a lot of star power there. Jason Kidd just played. He just played in the NBA last year.
That don't mean he can't coach.
I don't know how the players are going to take to him, especially Darren Williams.
Okay, but see,
as you know, Darren Williams has a problem with coaches in the past.
But look at it like this. With the exception of Isaiah Thomas, some of the best coaches in recent history have been point guards.
Mm-hmm.
Have been point guards. I mean, it's just a true proven fact. The best coaches they dictate the floor as a player. They control the flow of the game. They control the offense, and they dictate the flow of the defense. Usually, they direct. As a coach, most point guards are really good because they just know the system. Like I said, with the exception of Isaiah Thomas, most point guards make really good coaches. So Jason Kidd might prove everybody wrong and get the Brooklyn Nets over that hump.
Yeah.
I mean, now that they don't have the media attention with Jay-Z being in the crowd anymore, they might actually be able to focus on more basketball.
I think just continuing on with other good teams in the East. You always know the Knicks are going to be there, having Carmelo, Stoudemire, Miami, J.R. Smith. But my real sleeper team in the East this year, the Detroit Pistons. They actually have a pretty decent squad this year. I think they're going to do good with Mo Cheeks being their coach.
Yeah, Mo Cheeks.
And then Rasheed Wallace is back there helping out coach too.
Okay.
And they also brought back Chauncey Billups at the point guard position. And he'll probably be coming off the bench. But they still have a pretty young squad.
He's at that point in his career where he's supposed to go off the bench and
they still have a pretty young squad with Rodney Stuckey, Brandon Jennings. They acquired Josh Smith too. So you got Josh Smith, Greg Monroe, and Andre Drummond.
Yeah,
like
that's a sleeper.
That's a real sleeper.
But to me, you forgot the Chicago Bulls. I'm sorry.
They're not a sleeper,
but I'm saying we forgot to even mention them in the top tier. The Chicago Bulls they're gonna be in the hunt for at least the Eastern Conference Finals. At least.
I don't see it happening this year.
mean, if D Rose is back, he's looking pretty good. I think they're just out of sync. They'll be out of sync for a little bit because he's been out for so long.
I think they're still missing that offensive player to complement Derrick Rose. Like, Westbrook has Kevin Durant. So.
Whoa, did you say Westbrook has Kevin Durant? You mean Durant has Westbrook?
I'm speaking from a point guard perspective with a scoring point
guard. Then you got to say that. You cannot put Westbrook before Kevin Durant. There's no way in the world when you mention Oklahoma City Thunder that you put Westbrook before Kevin Durant. No.
Westbrook's a top 5 point guard. Kevin Durant's a top 5 small forward.
Yeah, but you don't put
they complement
Durant
each other.
second.
It doesn't matter. They complement each other.
That does matter.
So I can't put Durant second, but Durant couldn't do nothing when Westbrook got hurt.
Just like Westbrook couldn't do nothing if Durant wasn't there.
Have you ever seen Durant not be there though?
So
you can't make that statement without saying that.
Westbrook would not
actually seeing that.
Okay, and it's called. Well, you think Westbrook will put up that many points if Durant was not on the team?
Yes, I do.
I completely disagree with you.
Yes, I do.
You cannot put Westbrook's name before Durant. I don't care if he plays point guard.
I say you can't say if you can or not. We're gonna move on to the West now. In the West, gotta go with the Clippers. The Clippers have a pretty stacked team right now. I know you don't want to hear it because they're in LA and they're covering up your banners and stuff when they play at home.
But they got to do something to make themselves feel good because every time they show up to practice, all they see is Laker banners.
They got Chris Paul, they got J.J. Redick, and Jared Dudley as key additions.
Okay, you just mentioned J.J. Redick like he's going to be a factor.
He's a knockdown shooter, knockdown three-point shooter.
And he was at Duke.
He's with a good team, with a great point guard that's going to get him in situations where he can pop the three and knock it down.
Yeah, until they put somebody on him that can actually play defense and then he can't do anything.
Chris Paul will dissect that and get him the ball in open spaces. You see what Doc Rivers did with Ray Allen. Well, Ray Allen been doing that his whole career. But
yeah, exactly.
J.J. Redick has the potential to run around and get shots like
he does have the potential, but I don't care. I don't care how people feel. I care less how you feel.
DeAndre Jordan's going to have a great year with Doc Rivers being his coach.
I don't care how you feel. The Lakers are going to be in the playoffs.
Are they going to have a better record than the Clippers?
Yes.
Okay, y'all all heard this, right?
I'm saying it right here, right now. We run LA.
Make sure
and the Dodgers.
Make sure
we run LA.
Make sure when the season's over, you leave a comment saying, "Yeah, you were wrong, Coach Ray."
I am a fan.
Okay.
I am a fan.
And then you got the regulars in the West that always gonna do good. You got Tim Duncan in the old Spurs. You got Kevin Durant with the Thunder.
See, now you got it right.
Because Westbrook's hurt right now. And then my team that I'm thinking is gonna give contention. Like gonna be a contender in the West. The Houston Rockets and my boy James Harden. Now they got Dwight Howard. They still got Chandler Parsons, who I think is one of the up and coming small forwards in the league.
First of all, they're one bad stretch of losses away from Dwight Howard having a hissy fit and wanting to be traded. because you know what's going to happen. He's going to go through a stretch where James Harden's going to dictate too much, and he's not going to get the ball the way he wants to, and then he's going to get into it with the coach, and next thing you know, he's going to be starting talking about how unhappy he is, and oh my God, I'm not getting the ball, and the fans don't like me.
I feel like he's a little salty just because he left LA.
And even just the fact that he left, he did the same thing to Orlando.
He gave Orlando a good amount of his time.
Yeah, but then
coming into the NBA.
But
he took them to the finals.
You leave, and then you come to LA. You were going to be the star.
He wasn't the star.
He would have been.
Nobody's going to be the star in LA when Kobe Bryant's there.
Again, it's the same thing. You cannot have a Laker team without a dominant big man. I can dictate that.
Who is the star on the Lakers?
It's Kobe Bryant.
Who will always be the star on the Lakers as long as he's there?
Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
But listen. You cannot go and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to resign because Kobe Bryant didn't want to retire." Come on, man. That's his reason for leaving LA, because Kobe Bryant didn't want to retire.
That's not his reason.
That was part of the reason.
I think if they had a better coach,
if Phil Jackson had came back, then Dwight Howard would still be there. But again, part of his reason for not staying was Phil Jackson not being signed, and because Kobe Bryant did not want to retire.
I don't know. I might, my opinion might not. It really doesn't matter. But I feel like the Lakers alumni didn't show Dwight Howard enough love while he was there, like Kareem and.
Because he's a big baby, man.
Take him under your wing. Teach him not
to be a big baby.
Like, teach him things. Don't just put him out there and, just be like, well, welcome to L.A.
And first of all...
But he's in Houston now, working with Olajuwon and Kevin McHale. Don't be surprised if Dwight Howard becomes the most
Okay, first of all, I can give you Olajuwon, but don't bring it up like Kevin McHale was the joint, because Larry Bird made Kevin McHale look good.
He's a good coach.
He is a decent coach.
I feel like he's gonna get a lot out of Dwight Howard.
So gun to your head, NBA Finals picks.
It's tough, but I'm gonna go with the Clippers being in the finals against the Miami Heat, and Miami Heat taking it probably in 5 games.
I'm gonna concur. I'm gonna say Miami Heat Spurs rematch. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say Miami takes it in 4 games.
They're going to sweep them.
I think they'll sweep San Antonio this year. I think San Antonio is going to, because San Antonio, for some odd reason, people just sleep on them. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it. Like, to us, on paper, they don't look that good because we're like, oh, they're old. They don't really have the weaponry. But then for some reason, it's just like, after the All-Star break, they just turn it up a notch, and they wind up in the conference finals or the semifinals or something. They make a run in the playoffs. They're going to be back in the final. This is my pick, because we don't have a chance in Hades on doing anything. I know I'm a fan, but I got to be realistic.
I'm thinking, but another sleeper team, just not to leave them out, because I think they deserve to be mentioned. The Golden State Warriors.
I'll take that.
They're another sleeper team that I think they're going to do damage in the playoffs. But I don't know if they still have all the pieces. They have the pieces there to be able to do it, but I don't know if they can get over that hump to get to the conference finals.
I think just Golden State has, like you said, the weaponry to get that first round done, but they don't really have the scenario to carry them all the way down. They might get out the first round. Mm-hmm. But when it starts getting to the point where they banging down low with the big men, they're a finesse team. So when you got teams that make them play inside ball, they're not going to win.
Are we talking about Golden State? They have Andrew Bogut and they have David
Lee.
And
for David Lee, he's a good inside guy, but Andrew Bogut, you don't know how long he's going to be healthy.
And you got Draymond Green, who I think he's coming up. Like, I think he'll do better this year.
I don't know. I just don't think Golden State has the weaponry to make it that deep in the playoffs.
The only thing I think Golden State messed up, they let Jarrett Jack go. Jarrett Jack was key, and they're running the playoffs last year.
Oh yeah, and
but at the end of the day, it's all about the Heat again.
Yeah, the Heat, they're gonna take it. They just mollywopped the Bulls today.
They 3-peat, and
Yeah, but you know what? That'll end our segment on the NBA Finals or NBA picks. When we come back, NFL primetime matchups for this upcoming week,
and key matchups from the NBA too.
And we're back. We're kicking it off with this week's NFL primetime matchups. This week, Thursday night, we got the Miami Dolphins going up against the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to kind of go with the Bengals on this one. The Red Rifle's doing his work right now.
I'm going to go with the Bengals, too. Miami, they're in game sometimes, but the final score ends up being another team.
Yeah, wasted money on Mike Wallace, buddy.
Yeah.
Wasted that money.
Now we're going to jump right into the Sunday night game. We have the Indianapolis Colts going against the Houston Texans.
Who's quarterbacking? They don't know.
I think Schaub really wants to come back and show that he's a good quarterback.
That he's a
glorified
backup.
He's not a glorified backup.
He's a glorified backup.
This will be a tough game, I think, because they're both teams coming off a bye. But I think the Colts still have the momentum coming off their huge win against Denver.
Yeah. The glorified backup, Matt Schaub, will be sitting down because Keenum will be starting. Keenum, the rookie. Young buck. Taking over to Houston.
They just need to go back to the running game, zone blocking game.
They do need to do that so I can get my fantasy points for Arian Foster.
Defense need to step up. I know they're hurting because Brian Cushing's out for the year, but J.J. Watt can step up and they can still do a good job.
And Ed Reed can go ahead and get his cataract surgery so he can see the ball flying over his head now.
He saw it perfectly good in 49ers in the Super Bowl. But let's
get
to that Monday night matchup.
And we're going to roll on to Monday night primetime matchup. We got the Bears going straight up against the Green Bay Packers. Hey, it's going to be a show. That's all I'm going to say. Aaron Rodgers has a tendency to make quarterbacking look easy.
And surprisingly, McCown didn't do that bad of a job filling in for Jay Cutler when he got injured.
No, I wouldn't do that bad either if I had a receiver like Brandon Marshall and a running back like Matt Forte. Can't really do too bad.
He threw a touchdown to Martellus Bennett, though.
Yeah, but you can't do that bad with those kind of weapons on the field.
He actually ran the ball pretty effectively.
He's a better runner than Cutler too.
Yeah.
But we still got Aaron Rodgers. The man makes it look like it's like you're watching Madden on TV.
And the Green Bay Packers, they do have a different dimension now. Eddie Lacy. They actually have a running game, which makes the Green Bay Packers kind of scary to play.
Yeah, and then Stark's actually running the ball hard when he coming in to change the pace back. Yeah. The defense playing a little bit tougher, not great, but a little bit tougher than they normally do.
But I think the key for the Bears to actually win the game is just to shut down Jordy Nelson. That's the only person you have to throw the ball to right now.
That's really true because with Finley out, Jones out, Randall Cobb out. At this point, it's time to just pick up the phone and call T.O.
I just don't see how people just don't double team Jordy Nelson. I don't know how Jordy Nelson still is an effective wide receiver.
I have no idea either. Pick up the phone, Green Bay. It's time to call somebody back. Yeah. They need a job.
But that's going to end our key matchups for this upcoming NFL. So now we're going to talk about the NBA opening games that just happened today. Surprisingly, I'm pretty sure nobody knew this, but the Indiana Pacers actually had the first game against Orlando Magic.
I had no idea they were on TV.
Yeah, they're on the NBA channel. It's actually free this week, but nobody still watched.
Nobody watched the Pacers play the Magic.
Oladipo, he had a pretty good game for his first game. Andrew Nicholson, he had a great game coming off the bench. But at the end of the day, Roy Hibbert's 16 rebounds and Indiana just being a much more polished and seasoned team.
It's just ridiculous. Opening game, you let this man get 16 rebounds.
16
it's just ridiculous.
Rebounds.
Like, nobody boxes out at practice anymore.
I really don't like Hibbert that much, but he really did have a good playoffs, and it's rolling over into this season.
I think he's going to have a pretty decent year. Yeah. And we're also rolling on to the first game that everybody really cared about. Nobody cared about the Pacers game, but this game here, Miami Heat against Chicago Bulls, it went the way everybody expected it to go.
D Rose came back and didn't do nothing.
I mean, he did his thing. He came out okay. Jakim Noah, 2 points, 11 rebounds. Ding, mediocre game.
Foul trouble.
Heinrich fouled out. The Miami Heat just did what everybody's expecting them to do this year, and they just rolled over on every team. They're going to roll over them like... They're just going to roll over the Eastern Conference this year. I'm sorry.
Carlos Boozer did drop 31 on them, but Miami's defense actually did do a good job. And just Miami's offense, having shooters and having LeBron going to the post now.
It's going to be scary.
And D-Wade, he can do some stuff in the post too. Chris Bosh, doing whatever his gay tail does.
Yeah.
He actually got a block with his left hand. I don't know. It might be a strong hand. I don't know.
It might be. It's scary to see how Miami's playing at this point already.
Yeah.
First game of the season, they all are like a big cohesive unit. It's scary, but you can thank their coach Pat Riley. Eric Spoelstra, but
Pat Riley brought them together. But
Pat Riley is pulling the strings, and you know it. All Eric Spoelstra needs to do is just sit there and keep smiling. He's not even allowed to talk in the huddle.
Yeah, but we're gonna go.
I think they got a walkie-talkie on the clipboard that Pat Riley's talking through.
Nah, LeBron. It's all in LeBron's headband. It's a microchip in there. But now we're gonna go into the game. It's in progress right now. It's the Clippers versus the Lakers.
We run LA.
The battle for LA. So I think
it's not a battle for LA when you got 16 championships and there none. There's no battle.
It's the battle for LA. Clippers clearly have a better team right now with Kobe Bryant being hurt.
Yep, they have a better team that won't win the finals, which means every time they still show up, there'll be a bunch of Laker banners hanging above their head. That's why they got to put the little tarp with just their pictures on it, because there's no championship.
I feel like since you're old, you're still living in the past. Living in the current right now. Clippers have
it was in the 2000s.
Clippers have a better team right now. Clippers pull out this game. Hopefully, this comes to
Lakers pull the upset today. The Clippers take their banner down and wish they had never hung it up in the first place.
Doc Rivers is going to do a good job. But, that's going to end our show for today. I want to thank y'all for watching again. We really appreciate all the support y'all have been giving us. And, continue to try to leave us comments. Give us that like. Spread the word. Tell people about us. That's free, the number 4 all sports.
Thank y'all for watching. Continue to hit us up. Thank you. We love you. Good night.